So you see this little guy here? This is what a lot of us are dealing with. This is Poa Annua. Oh, and we are going to talk about how to kill that today, along with some other winter weeds, and we're going to talk about getting ready for this time of year. Look, guys, this is an important time of the year. Just in a few weeks, we're going to be talking about putting down pre-emergent, a bunch of different steps. So today, we're going to talk about killing these winter weeds and why we have to do it now. It's so important. So hold on. Oh, we are back on Bermuda. We have been gone from this property almost 80 days. 76 days we were gone for this property. We put down some pre-emergent. We really haven't done anything. Nothing's been done to this lawn in 76 days. So I come back and what am I going to see? And what I know I'm going to see is I'm going to see some winter weeds coming up. So today we're going to talk about killing these winter weeds. I'll show you two products that you can use. One is a little bit harder to use than the other one. We'll go over that, but make sure two things. Number one, click that subscribe button because you don't want to miss this beautiful face. But the other thing is make sure you get our lawn guides. Our lawn guides are up now. They're free to use. Cool season, warm season, Bermuda, Zoysia. Just go to freelawncareguide.com. That's where they all are. There's the cool season grass is on that website, and then there's links over to Bermuda and the Zoysia. Walks you through the entire year, answers every question you might have, and there's calendars. The calendars will walk you through sort of what do I need to do when. So just real quick, a little background. When we bought this house years ago, 6-7 years ago, when we bought this house, the whole backyard was green, but it was green from Poa Annua. In Georgia, we say Poa Annua. So it was just a massive Poa Annua, and that's the number one problem that this area faces and a lot of you guys face, but you also have winter weeds. But why is it so important to kill your winter weeds right now for a lot of you guys? The reason for that is anytime you do something negative, if you're going to have surgery, if you're going to have dental work, plastic surgery to make a beautiful face like this, what are you going to do? The first thing they're going to do is they're going to give you anesthesia. So that basically is what is up with our lawns right now. Our lawn is asleep. You got it? Our lawn is completely dormant. It's nice and cold. Temperatures are lows in the 30s. Sometimes we touch into the 20s. Nice brown lawn. So we can be a little more aggressive with our weed killers. If we try and bring these weed killers in too close to the pre-emergent time, we're going to have Bermuda grass and warm season grasses starting to wake up a little bit. So if you have a little bit of green sprouting up and then you're going to go put your weed killers out, guess what? That can have some negative impacts on your lawn. So now is the time to come out and attack your winter weeds. In just a few weeks, probably around March 1st, is when we're going to come out here and we're going to start to put down our pre-emergent. We're going to come out, we're going to hit our pre-emergent, and I'll talk a little bit about that today in a couple of warnings. But now is the time. So I can come out here and be real aggressive with this Poa Annua, real aggressive with my winter weeds, kill off anything that's come up, and I'm ready to go. So today, I'll show you two products. One of them is going to be Negate, and the other one's going to be Image. Image is the easy one. It's a hose end bottle. You come out and spray it. It just takes long. So I've always talked about these weed killing windows. And what are the weed killing windows? Well, we've got, while we're chilly at night, the daytime temperatures, when we were out here doing this work yesterday, guess what? We were sweating. It was hot. It was like 65 degrees out here. And the winter weeds are just, oh, this is so great. And that's when you want to hit them with a weed killer. You don't want to come out with a weed killer when it's not going to be effective, i.e. the high of the day is in the 40s and the low is in the 20s. So check your 10-day forecast for the next couple of weeks. Watch for those weed killing windows. And I talk about that all the time. The weed has to be active and it has to be growing for this stuff to work. And it's going to, the effectiveness will slow down. Okay, so let's talk about the products that we're going to use today. The products that we're going to use today, I'm going to show you two. I'm going to use the hard one. There's an easy one. I link to everything down below. So there's one link down below. I link to everything. Pre-emergents, fertilizers, everything, spray bottles, everything is on that one page. Lawn guide links. So that's why I only put one link down below this video. There's two products. The majority of you guys are going to use something is going to use Image. Now I will warn you that they make a couple different Image products. So you want to get that, look for this Image. This is the bottle. You get it at Lowe's, you get it at Home Depot. This is the regular Image. It says kills nutsedge, kills warm and cool season weeds. So you want to make sure you get that bottle. They make a couple different products, but that's the one that you want. The problem with Image is that it's real slow. Image kills through the roots. It doesn't necessarily do a lot foliar. It actually kills the roots. So once you apply this, you're going to spray it on your lawn. You're going to water it in, get it into the root zone. And your image, your Poa Annua will probably start to turn yellow in about 2 or 3 weeks. It's slow. The other product is Negate. Now Negate, the problem with Negate is this one little bottle treats an entire acre. Now if you figure this is 1.5 ounces, if you convert that over into grams, 1/4 of a teaspoon will treat 1,000 square feet. You see how small that is? 1/4 of a teaspoon per 1,000 square feet. Here's the problem. There are 2 components inside this, and what they say to the label is if you follow the labels, you're not violating federal law, is you have to mix the entire bottle so that you don't get an imbalance of those 2 chemicals. So you have to take this bottle, put it into a container with water, dissolve it all, and then figure out what portion of that. So if I make up a gallon of this, put this into a gallon of water, I have to use half a gallon for half an acre. Does that make sense? And then apply that half gallon to the thing. That's where this gets a little bit complicated. This is probably not for the average homeowner because of that complexity. However, I'm not telling you to do it, but I am going to give you the formula that 1/4 of a teaspoon treats 1,000 square feet. Do what you want. A lot of times we'll use spray bottles. I linked to the spray bottles. They're back up on Amazon. Delivered to your door. I think they're about 2 for $19 through Anderson's. This is a 20-to-1 spray ratio. We'll be using these a lot this year in case you want to order some. If you're putting out liquid pre-emergent, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I like to use this for the liquid pre-emergent. So those are the 2 products today I'm going to use on it now. Let me go over and give you a pre-emergent warning real quick. So a lot of people ask me, Doc, why do you use the granular pre-emergent first? Because I need to put down my pre-emergent before I do my scalping. And what does that mean? That means I'm going to have a lot of dead brown grass. See my dead brown grass? This is dry, and when you put moisture on it, what's going to happen? It's going to absorb moisture. So if I put down a liquid pre-emergent here, let me grab a handful. If I were to just come spray water on this, what would happen? This would absorb the water. Well, it's also, if I use liquid pre-emergent, it's also going to absorb my liquid pre-emergent. So I don't know how much pre-emergent I'm actually getting down to the ground. So that's one negative about using a liquid pre-emergent at this time of year on dormant lawns. Your dormant grass may absorb 10 to 40% of the liquid that's supposed to be in your grass. That's why I say I always prefer the granular pre-emergent first. I'll link to it in the description below. And then if I'm going to do a second coat after I scalp, right after my scalp, I may come out and put out some more pre-emergent in our split treatment program, and I will put a liquid down then because all this dead grass is gone at that point. Now, I will come out here. One little tip, we are going to start to do a pre-scalp. And what is a pre-scalp? A pre-scalp is when we start to take this down. If you have real long brown grass like barbs is long, it helps if you start to do some cutting now. Start to take it down slowly so that when you do your scalp, you don't have this massive, huge pile of brown all at once. So yes, at this time of year, you can start to come out here and you can start to take some of this down little by little. So I'm going to go mix this up and I'll come out and I'll spray it. Ryan came over and he's doing some cleanup work. Here we go. Woo. Okay, so we're back. So we've been gone for 80 days and Ryan's been here and basically just been doing little stuff, checking the pool, making sure nothing's bad. We really haven't done any yard work at all. But the first thing I want to talk about is killing Poa Annua. This is a critical time. Now, before I left, we put down an average coat of pre-emergent, and we have always, when we bought this house, tons of Poa Annua. Not bad this year, but you can see over here, we've got Poa Annua spots popping up over here. It looks really good over here. Back over here, we had a green over here. In this side area, we got some over here. So I think what I'm gonna have Ryan do, so like those dead things over there, let's clean up all those dead things. We're gonna clean up this garden over here. And I think we might also go ahead and hack down the rose bushes too. Okay. We might also get the hedge trimmer and we trim them down every year because they just get so massive. So basically he's just gonna clean up a little bit. The pool needs a little bit of cleaning. Just we've been gone. It's almost 80 days. So here we go. So today, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Negate. I'm going to use it in a backpack sprayer, and I'm going to put green dye in it. I really recommend that you get some kind of dye so that when you go out here, I'm going to be spot treating all this Poa Annua and spraying it directly. I'm going to add a little bit of surfactant to it and treat it because we got nice warm weather. And that's the way I'm going to do it. So let me show you how I like to mix this up. So the first thing I've got is I've got my tank sprayer, and it's filled about halfway full of water. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my established amount of concentrate in here that I have mixed up. Almost up to the top, because if you start spraying the green dye around, it's going to get all over you. I want to put a fair amount. I want to put about a quarter of a cup. That's more like a half a cup. There we go. Okay, so my wind speed is good. I'm at about 6 miles per hour on the wind. I've got a backpack full of this stuff, gloves, mask, everything. I really gear up when I use this Negate, and the girls, I put the dogs inside until this dries. If I was using Image, I probably wouldn't worry so much about it, but with the Negate, I actually like to use a little bit more precaution. So all I'm going to do is just go around. I'm going to treat all the spots on my lawn that I can visibly see Poa Annua or weeds. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Leave it for a few days, and then we're going to start prepping for our pre-emergent. So, in place I see this Poa Annua, this is what I'm going to do. I'm coming in here and I'm treating it heavy. So this is why, if you have a lot of this stuff, if you have a whole yard of this stuff, this is where the Image comes in a little bit handier, because you can just take the bottle, concentrate where it is. But I'm just backpack spraying for now. That's all I'm doing. So as you can see, I've got a green spotted lawn out here. So I went through here and I treated every single piece of Poa Annua, and that's important. You even got to look for those little ones. Every weed that I had, I went ahead and treated. And you can see what it looks like in here. That's all treated now, all along the edges over here. One thing I want to do is I want to take you out front, and I want to show you Barb's lawn too. So let's go out front. Now, one of the reasons why I want to take you out front is because before we left, we actually did a pretty good treatment of pre-emergent on Barb's lawn. You can see here, I didn't do that great of a job, so I had quite a bit of little Poa Annua, but this is really wet, and Poa Annua likes that wet stuff. So Poa Annua can really come in from birds and from traffic. We have a lot of bird traffic out back. And here's something interesting that you'll note. So very little Poa Annua out front, just a few little spots here and there, but look at this strip. I didn't treat this with pre-emergent. And I have a ton of Poa Annua growing in this strip, and this did not get treated with pre-emergent. And it's interesting because right before we left, I did a really good treatment on Barb's lawn, and her lawn looks fantastic, by the way, for weeds at least. Look at that. I mean, there's a couple, almost no Poa Annua. I mean, there's almost no weeds in this. That looks just fantastic. And that's what you want to see in a dormant lawn. There's almost nothing. But hers is long, and this is what I was talking about. When we get into this, see how long that is? We need to start we need to start bringing that down some. So you want to be careful. And see the little sprigs of green Bermuda there? That's why you never ever use Roundup. See that, people? People want to argue about it. See that little sprig of green right there? If you dig down deep, you'll find them. You never use Roundup on a dormant lawn, ever. I get so tired of that argument. Never use any type of total killer on a dormant lawn. Over here, they actually, if you look over here, let me walk over here. This is kind of interesting. This is the test patch lawn over here. Remember, we helped them get their lawn established, and this looks great, by the way. They had to dig up their drain field, their septic drain field. Oh, what a mess. Look at this mess. Oh, boy. This is what happens when you have to dig up your drain field and put in a new septic drain field over here. So, later this year, I'll help them out. We'll come over and we'll seed this in Bermuda over here. But man, they just make an absolute mess with this big equipment over here. So in a couple days, I'm actually going to come out early with my pre-emergent for you guys, because I got to do stuff ahead of time for you guys. So we're going to come out here, hit that subscribe button, because we're going to start doing some pre-cutting, pre-scalping. We're going to put down pre-emergent, and I'll go over the quick start program, the jump start program. You gotta understand about that jump start program and what we're doing to make our grass beautiful and green earlier than anyone else's out here. Getting that little head start is so important. So that's about it. Hit subscribe, get the lawn guide, and I'll talk to you later. Doc.